Hi, and welcome to Hull Women's Week. I'm Becky from Hull Libraries, and today I'm interviewing photographer Lee Karen Stow. So without further ado, hi Lee.
Hi, hello everyone. All the best for International Women's Day.
So Lee, just as we're starting, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about what you do.
Oh, how long have you got? Well, I was born in Hull in 1966 and grew up on the Greatfield Estate in the east of the city. I'm an independent documentary photographer and journalist. My interest is in the hidden, forgotten, ignored stories of women survivors of war, including my mother and grandmother who survived the Hull Blitz during the Second World War, and women campaigners for peace and human rights. I have the honour of working alongside women who, despite experiencing tremendous upheaval, loss and trauma, draw on this incredible strength and resilience to navigate through life and carry on. Women who make huge contributions to society yet are often overlooked or silenced in some way. To me, they are role models. My passion is photography and visual storytelling. I love working alongside women who want to tell and share their story in a visual way, using their own images and artwork together as a collaboration, including artwork by Mayes and Issa Dira of the Sudanese family of artists who many people know about their work. Women who want to share their story in their own way, on their own terms, either for self-expression, to earn an income, or to advocate on change on issues which affect them. It's not about giving the women a voice. The voice is not mine to give. It's about creating spaces and platforms for those voices to be heard and listened to. So that's what I usually do. But I'm also in my second year of a PhD with the North of England Consortium for Arts and Humanities based at the University of Hull. It's in visual media studies, working alongside a small number of women resettled to the area as refugees. And together we're taking, without going in too much depth, we're taking a critical look at visual representation or misrepresentations of refugee women and photography's role in that, and how it can be challenged and contested to tell a different, alternative, more complex story. Mm-hmm. So that
sounds fascinating, actually, really, really interesting. Mm-hmm. So you obviously have quite a diverse approach, and I just wondered within that, kind of what challenges that you may face.
Well, just going on to my the PhD study, I'm a mature student. I'm 54. I completed my master's just 3 years ago, having never been to university. So coming from a newspaper background, someone who left school at the age of 15, 16, I find academic writing a challenge. Mm-hmm. So that's my current challenge at the moment. Well, as well as trying to do this in a pandemic and trying to help support friends and family. I suppose the other challenge is I've been freelance since 1995, and as a freelance, you're basically on your own. You motivate yourself, instigate projects and work, try to earn enough to live on, chase people who don't pay you, argue for your right to be paid, mm-hmm. which gets getting a lot harder, to not work for free, to try and value your work and try and make people value your work.
I suppose it's about being paid the right amount as well, isn't it? It's being able to, you value your work and ensure that other people value it as well.
Yeah. And all the while pitching for new work and trying to stay afloat and be positive. It's not easy. There's no 9 to 5. It's always there. You can't switch off. It's immersive and all-encompassing. I'm sorry, I'm telling you the negatives, but there's so many incredible positives. often, usually, when there isn't a pandemic on, I'm out in the world completely alone. You're very vulnerable. It's a brave choice. It's not for everybody, but out there is my comfort zone. But again, it's my choice, and I feel privileged to be able to have that choice, to have that freedom. So many women don't. And this is what I do. It's who I am. And photography especially, it's become my way of life. It's my conversation with life. And Martha Gellhorn, the famous correspondent, she said something like, "I'd rather see the life of my times than have the time of my life." And so I'm seeing a lot and I'm learning a lot.
It's incredibly poetic.
Yes, yeah.
So, as you've just discussed, there potentially some of the negatives that you may face, but they do also have positive aspects to them. So in the career that you've had, or the work that you're doing now, what do you think your proudest moment is?
Yes, thanks, Becky. In the early days, it used to be seeing my own work on the walls of an exhibition, but I've obviously moved on from that. Now it's seeing the women who I've mentored in photography take on an assignment, produce a body of work, get paid for the going rate for all their hard work, or women I've worked with or helped in some way have their own exhibitions of their work. And the public come to see their images, and they get to engage with the artists face to face, and each learns something about the other. Again, it's creating that space, that platform where people can come together through the power of photography and visual artwork. And photography is blamed for a lot of things, but done with compassion and empathy, it does bring people together. It can build bridges, and I see that all the time, which is why I stay doing this. And I feel lucky to have reached the second half of my life when so many women in the world have lower life expectancy, but I'm able to try and help in some way and input into making things happen.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
and there's a lot to be proud of in that, isn't there?
Yes,
I think,
and no 2 days are the same. Having said that, every day is the same at the moment. It's Groundhog Day. But usually no 2 days are the same. And as I say, working out there with women is the most incredible experience ever. And without them, without their inspiration, their encouragement, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So
yes, yeah,
I'm proud to be part of that community. I'm proud to be part of be one of those voices that's trying to be heard above the din.
So amongst all of that, you've got a body of work, you've got women who you work with, you like to provide space for them. What changes do you think you would like to see? It's quite an all-encompassing question, but is there anything in particular?
Yes, what springs to mind? More spaces and platforms for women's voices, women's histories, women's stories, women's opinions to be heard. Yes, there are lots of opportunities, lots of advances, but often women are still on the sidelines, still marginalised, still silenced, still ignored. So more spaces, more platforms, and more people listening to what women have to say and their lived experiences. That's what I like to see.
Yeah. Lee Karen Stow, thank you very much for giving us some of your time today. We really appreciate it, and what you do is fantastic. And I think providing a space, I think most women would agree it's really important, and I would hope that in fact everybody would agree that it's important to have that available. So thank you today for coming along and saying something about it.
Thank you for asking me, Becky. All the best, and as I said, happy International Women's Day to everyone in Hull and beyond.